takeover of our taxpayer-funded schools. My name is Maria Sachs, and I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about this issue that we're all very much concerned with, and that is mental health funding. I am part of the legislature that is part of the problem. I owe one up to it, and I want us all to thank Rita Thrasher, because she comes up to our state's capital, which is not easy to get to. And she kind of, gives us heck because we don't do enough for mental health funding. I have been in the legislature for 6 years. This is a fight that I've had for 6 years, and I will continue to fight for it. It seems sometimes like we're going backwards, doesn't it, in terms of the funding, and it can be very frustrating for me. I'm a mom. I have 3 kids of my own. And I have 2 that I have brought in as my own. And the little one, Jessica, has mental health issues. So I have personal experience. And I know about the place in Boca Rio Road. It's wonderful. Jessica has been in our schools, our public schools. Graduated when she was 25. I think our public schools have a good situation where they keep kids who need a little more help until 25, and then they try to find employment for them. So we have some good news, and Publix has been very good as being a partner with us in finding employment for a lot of folks who have mental health issues. But it is not good in the long run in terms of the funding. If it wasn't for the Jewish Association for Residential Care, JARC, has been absolutely wonderful. And Jessica has been there for 10 years, living at JARC, first in a group home, and now in an apartment, which she shares at the Federation grounds. So we're very pleased with that. But I wonder how many, and I don't wonder, I know, how many people who can't afford that or don't know about JARC. And now JARC has funding issues, so it's only so much that they can do in terms of helping families. My philosophy is this. It's very simple. I've had it for many, many years. Government needs to help those who cannot help themselves. That is the true function of government. Government is not established to help businesses get ahead. Government is not established to give corporate tax breaks. Government is established to help those who most need it. Our prisoners. Government should be there to take care of our prisoners, make sure that their incarceration consists of rehabilitation and treatment, and of course punishment for those who need it. But did you know, and I bet you do, that over 62% of those 122,000 men who are incarcerated in the state of Florida are there because of addiction to drugs? Which I accept that is a mental health issue. An addiction, it's a sickness. It needs treatment, not incarceration. And yet there is a movement afoot in this state you need to know about, where government is giving up those duties which traditionally should be part of government and giving it up into private hands. I think that's wrong. Absolutely wrong. I've always had that opinion and I always will. Second thing, government should take care of the education of our children. Public education is the cornerstone of our government, of our culture, of the American way of life. Never before in the history of Western civilization did you have a country that would educate all the people. When I say all the people, we sometimes think it's funny to think even girls, but look what's going on in northern Pakistan today, where girls are not accepted to be worthy enough for education. But we in this country accept that government must provide a healthy and a safe and a intellectually stimulating environment for all our children in public education. And yet, the state of Florida, as a government, is moving away from that responsibility and giving it up to corporate, out-of-state corporate charter schools. There are some reasons we need to have charter schools. And I've been on the board of a charter school here in Boynton Beach, a vocational school for kids. But I do not accept out-of-state corporate tax takeover of our taxpayer-funded schools. Another issue is with mental health. We are beginning the road towards privatization of the issues of mental health. This is something that is the function of government. This is why we pay our taxes. This is, you know, you rate government by the way they take care of the least of us. And we only have to look at our veterans in this state and in this county. We have the largest number of World War II veterans in the state. And yet so many of them are not being well taken care of. Or as in the Vietnam War era veterans, are homeless or living under bridges, not getting the medical and mental health attention that they need. So, I'm not giving you news that you don't know. Anybody here and everybody here is probably personally aware of the issue, as much as any legislator is. Take us to task. Don't let us get away with giving off the functions of government because it may be expensive, or it may be difficult, or it may not be profitable. Government is not, as a business, that should be profitable. Government exists to take care of those who most need help. And that's all of us. So that's my philosophy on mental health funding. I'm a former prosecutor from Miami. When Janet Reynolds started in 1978, I was one of the first prosecutors she hired. And we found that the biggest mental health facility in Miami-Dade County is our jail. It's the same thing here in Palm Beach. We don't need to look too far south. We need only to look here in West Palm Beach. Ask Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. Which entity is taking care of most of our mental health issues? It's a Palm Beach County jail. That's not where we should be treating people. Our anti-bullying bill in our school. Those of us in the legislature who understand that sexual orientation may be the main reason why many of our children are being bullied. And cyberbullying, you know, when I was a kid, they'd push you around a little bit. Today it's worse with cyberbullying. And yet, that clause was taken out of our anti-bullying bill. That of sexual orientation. We folks here in Palm Beach County need to wake up. We need to put the focus where it should be, and we need to put the blame where it must lie. And that is right in state government. And I, as part of that process, will work with anybody here, as I have for the last 2 years in the Senate, to make sure that our legislators listen to our people and not necessarily to the corporations. I flew down for a special event here when Governor Scott cut deeply into the cuts for mental health. And I walked with the parents. We all know what it's like to have somebody in your family who suffers from mental health. You don't know where to go. You don't have enough money to take care of. And the worst fear that any parent has is when we pass away, who's going to take care of our child or children? So this is an issue that we need to be very aware of. And you know, the good news is that election is about 24 days away. So exercise your right to vote. Look at the records of the folks who are asking for your vote. Don't take any politician's word for it. And certainly don't listen to what you're seeing on TV. And don't listen to what's going on in the papers, negative advertising. We have the internet. Everybody should have a website. Mine is very difficult to find. It's mariasachs.com. Look me up. Check it out. Check every politician who's asking for your vote. And there are many of us here. And check out and see what he or she has done for the people, especially those most vulnerable, those who don't write the big checks. Because if we don't get the right people up in our state legislature, who do we have to blame if we don't vote? I want to thank you very much. I want to tell you this, I am committed to this issue. It is as dear to me as my child. And I will work whatever we need to do to make sure that we get the proper attention and the proper funding. Because we will have enough of both parties up there so we can make some noise. And it's not just one party that's to blame. Look at the individual legislators. We had an amazing senator by the name of Rhonda Storms, Republican from North Florida. Boy, she was a fireball. And she was good. And she teamed up with many of those in the other party. She was a strong Republican, but she believed in this issue as well. Unfortunately, she's not coming back. So those of us who do want to go back, check us out. Make sure, because it's a very, very important issue for all of us. I want to thank you very much. I want to thank Rita Thrasher. I want to thank all those who helped put this together. We're going to talk, and once I get reelected, let's sit down and let's make some new laws. I'm ready to get started. Are you? Thank you very much.